Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Ladies Listen Up. What is your relationship with your money? Hmm. Don't forget to go on over and grab a girlfriend or grab a partner, accountability partner. How about that? And tell them to come on over to Oasis Wellness of Life. We're getting some good about our money tips, right? Well, alrighty. I hope everybody is doing well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share this information with somebody else. Ooh, got my good old cup of tea. And y'all know this is the best time for a good cup of tea. This is the fall of the year, and it kind of wraps into what we're going to talk about today. It is, well, I'll tell you in a second. Let me grab a sip. Mm-hmm. Mm. Y'all, I like the mango, but I can't wait to get back out and get me some ginger. I love my ginger tea. All righty. Well, let's go on over to Grandma's cookie jar and find out what Grandma's cookie jar have in store for us today. A couple of things that I want us to touch on and understand, but I'm going to pull out of Grandma's cookie jar. Let's take the back first. Never apologize for how you feel. That means that it's okay for us to express how we feel, and it's okay for us to, I say, react to how we feel, meaning that we get in touch with who we are. Oftentimes we think that everybody else, especially as women, because we are such nurturers, we feel like everybody else is, and I know I can speak for myself, so let's, uncover me today, right? So, I've looked at the destiny versus enjoying the journey. And instead of enjoying the journey, that's what's on the back, because I did take a peek. It says, find joy in the journey. And finding joy in the journey is something that I really have to hone in on, because I was always looking to the destiny, right? This is not my destiny. I'm going to my destiny and not really paying attention to the present. There are so many wonderful things to be discovered in the journey, right? Kind of hit me and dawned on me the other day. My dad used to always tell me, he used to say, stop and smell the roses. And I just give you that challenge today. Are you stopping to smell the roses? Because we are so busy doing things, all of the things that we must do in a day, the things. So today, I just say, I'll give you pass on what my dad passed on to me. Stop and smell the roses. Because man, I'm telling you, life is, what is it? Merely. Life is but a dream. Life goes by so fast, right? I looked up and I've been around, and my children are adults now with children. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, where did the time go? In the process or in the moment of, we're not thinking about that. We're thinking about, getting through the days and doing all the stuff that we have to do, going to sleep and starting all over again. But if we just stop for a minute and really think about and be grateful for the blessings that we have in front of us today, man, and I think maybe I got in this kind of a feeling or kind of a mode, because 2022 went by like the speed of light. You know, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, we're at the end of fourth quarter. And man, I'm thinking, I've been going through my journals like I've been telling everybody else. Go through your journal and see what it is you have accomplished. Because if we begin with the end in mind, like Stephen Covey talked about in his one of his books, if you think about that, next year we are going to bring up a book list so that we can continue with the personal and professional development. So look out for the links that we're going to be putting in below so that we can go on over and start, looking at certain books that's going to help us to move forward, right? Sometimes we get stuck. And in order for us to get to our goal or get to our destiny successfully, there are certain milestones that we need to think about, adjust, calibrate, and if you get stuck, there is a way to get unstuck, right? There's a way for us to, read books, to re reprogram our brain, right? It is amazing how much power we have inside of us. That's why I love what it said when it said, never apologize how you feel. But I want us to take it a step further. If you're feeling, sometimes like around this time of the year, people start to feel depressed. They start to feel anxiety, start to feel all these negative emotions because maybe they haven't, or maybe you haven't accomplished that which you set out to accomplish for the year. But hold on, it's okay. Me personally, my journey has been so bumpy. Man, if you were to put it on a big screen, it would be bumps and knockdowns and get back up and falling over this hurdle. And I don't mean just a tap. I mean a Muhammad Ali knock you out punch, right? Shake it off and get back up. Because that was Muhammad Ali that said the mat is nowhere for a champion. So if you do get knocked on your butt, always fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up, right? And that's what I'm saying today for us. There is so much that we can accomplish, so much that we can enjoy in the moment of, right? So now I stop, I have a set of twins, right, that are adults now, but I stop now to enjoy my grandchildren. I have granddaughters, identical twin granddaughters, right? So I stop now to make sure that I give the kisses on the feet, that that I play with them, that I hear what they're saying. Because even when we get really, really busy on our journey, balance is important, right? And sometimes we say, okay, when I get there, but there's no promise that we're going to get there, right? So if we make that journey one that we can remember, creating all of these, my daughter, my youngest daughter, she has it nailed down, right? She enjoys everything that she is doing, whether it's a struggle doing it, she learns a way to enjoy it and to share that with the family and to keep the family together. So I say today, because it's the end of the year, let's stop. Let's not go ahead and make New Year's resolutions. Let's stop first and examine what we accomplished in 2022, and then put down some markers of what we want to accomplish each month. Like I have another book here. Here it is here. I have another book here that I picked up, right? And so every month, what it says, be still, Psalms 46 and 10. So every month I'm going to put down what I want to accomplish that month. And then I'm going to go back at the end of the month and see, did I accomplish that which I set out to accomplish? See, our journals are very important. It's documenting the journey, actually. Then you can go back and you can reread it. Journaling is so important, whether you're journaling for, in each book, have it separate, because if you use the same book for everything, it'll get kind of convoluted and it'll be a little bit crazy. So you want to make sure that you have, one book for, what goals do I have, overall goals? What do I have? What am I looking to accomplish for the next year, right? And we can start it right now because we only have, 3 more weeks left. So you can start it right now and say, okay, this is what I want to accomplish for 2023, right? Don't forget, go back and review what have I accomplished for 2022. We can do this in our personal, we can do this in our spiritual, we can do this in our business goals, we can do this in our financial, we can do this in our interpersonal. Like, what do I want to do? I have this blank canvas. I've been given this lesson of another breath, another day. What is it that I want to do with this, right? I want to appreciate and be grateful. I even have another book that's a gratitude journal. And I put in that book the things that I'm grateful for. Man, I tell you, it changes your mindset. It changes how you look at things when you actually write it out and write it down. A lot of people go to their electronic devices or what have you and voice record it. But I always felt, and actually it's true, when you write it down, it's something, a correlation between your brain, your eyes, and writing it down. It cements or solidifies the information in your mind, your head. So one of the things that I was thinking about, I was like, wow, my journey, it has been really, really, it has been up and down like a roller coaster ride, right? So what have I discovered? What have I learned? Man, I am so excited to have learned so much about finance and what to do with it and how to invest, how to create passive income versus all the active income. That was something that I had to balance out, right? As an example, I had to balance out, what am I doing as far as all this passive versus what am I doing as far as all this active? Okay, let's get over to the passive side, because you can have so much going on in the active side, but is it really yielding results, right? Is it really yielding that return on your time investment, your energy investment, your monetary investment? Is it really doing that? Or over here, do I have a passive stream of income that's bringing me back systematic cash flow? And we talk about that a lot because that was one of the things, one of the huge breakthroughs that I, came into with my finances. I was like, wow, this is what I've been looking for, right? And then you keep learning, again, by the books that we're getting ready to incorporate in our podcast. So the book, right? Being around and associating with people that are like-minded. So when you're having conversations about, what you're going to do together as a collaboration. You're having conversations about, what's going on in the markets. You're having conversations about, how to advance one another, what needs to come off the plate, versus having conversations on this side where you're having conversations where you're talking about negative issues, or you're talking about, people gossiping or what have you, right? Which one, right? And again, it's your choice. This is a blank canvas. You're writing your own story. You're deciding, who do I want in the center of my stage? Who do I want on the outer rows of my stage? Who do I want in the balcony? And who do I don't even want to let into the arena, right? You have a choice. It's your decision. So I love it when we're talking about getting in touch with how we feel, because sometimes we feel like, it's selfish to think about what we want and how we want things done. It's not selfish. It is, you have to have a great foundation, or a phenomenal foundation within yourself, and the strength within yourself before you can go and help anybody else. It starts with you. We're pointing at people. How many fingers are pointing back at us, and how many fingers are pointing at that person, right? So it's about getting ourselves together. And I just want us to be so successful in 2023. But I know these are the things, the nuances that are going to help us to get there. What does all this have to do with our money? If your mind isn't right, if your spirit isn't right, if your heart isn't right, if you're not getting the right information, then it's going to stagnate your growth in your finances, in your personal, in your spirituality or your spiritual walk, and all of those things. We have to take time out for ourselves. I also wanted to talk a little bit about passing over opportunity repeatedly. That's the acronym for POUR. Passing over opportunity repeatedly. Oftentimes we're sent there. There was a story about a man that was I guess he was on an island or something, and God sent him a boat. It was a small boat. He's like, no, 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 I'm waiting for God to help me, right? Then he sent him a bigger boat. No, 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 I'm not getting on that boat. I'm waiting for God to help me. Then he sent another boat, and then okay, so then the man drowned, and when he went to heaven, he said, well, why didn't you help me? He said, well, who you think sent the boats, right? So oftentimes the answers are right in front of us, but we don't take the blinders off to be able to see it. Another thing, when I say enjoying the journey, that means that we have to stop, unplug, and sharpen the saw. But to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and balancing everything out. It's a lot taking care of ourselves, right? But if we do that, it's going to yield a good, healthy, balanced life. Because what's wealth without health? I say health and wealth work together, right? Health and wealth is very important, that we not only focus on our wealth, but we also focus on making sure that we have good nutrition coming in, that we're, I'm all things natural. So your proper herbs, and how do we do that? We educate ourselves. And how do we eat an elephant? One bite at a time, one small bite at a time. So, in summary of today's conversation, finding the joy in your journey. That's where I want to stick with just a little bit longer. Finding your joy in the journey. That means that you take time out to, hey, if you need a hug, get a hug. If you need, we all need to exercise. That means we're stretching. That means we're, sending out our messages maybe early in the morning, checking on different things. And just, one thing that really helped me declutter was I took time out and I just organized myself. And man, I have one more pile to organize, but it took a whole weight off because, you can't really think if you're in the midst of clutter. So just organizing, again, putting your books in order, taking this last quarter out and saying this last part of the quarter out and saying, you know what, I'm going to get it together because in 2023, I'm going to hit the goals, whether it's my weight goals, my exercise goals. I talked about exercising. I committed to 3 times a week. If I do 5 times, that's exceeding the expectation. So I've been averaging about 4 days a week, but I've been sticking to it consistently. And what I'm understanding though, if you don't move, the lymphatic fluid in your legs does not circulate. So, and that helps us to fight off infection. That helps our circulation. So we have to move it. There's certain things, some days I don't want to get up and exercise, y'all. But guess what? I get up and I do it, and I'm feeling so much stronger at the end of the year than I did at the beginning of the year. So now look at it. What's going to happen next year? I stick to those 4 days a week. Man, oh man, right? Y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing, right? But anyhow, and putting together your goals, like for your money, making sure that you're saving those $5 bills. See, all of these little things add up. We talked about when you're looking at exercising and getting your body, your health right. We talked about, when you take a trip to the ladies' room, do 10 squats, or the men's room, do 10 squats. Come on back. Every little bit counts. People say, oh, yes, it does. Park further in the parking lot. Everybody's fighting for that parking space right by the door. Give yourself a little bit by walking further. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. There's so many things. Before you leave out in the morning, make sure you drink 32 ounces of water, right? Then you've gotten half of the day's water done. It's so many little things that we can do to help us to, one, enjoy the journey, be fit, and be of sound mind and sound body as we go through the journey. Because believe you me, you're going to have your challenges. I wasn't expecting to get into an accident that early morning, right? You're going to have challenges, but if you have the proper mindset and you're putting these little tips, if you're putting these things into place, guess what? You are going to win. Alrighty? So I hope this helped today. Very light conversation, but very, very good tips to help us to be the best us that we can be. The best me I can be. The best you that you can be. Don't forget to listen, learn, and leverage the information. And don't forget to invite somebody. Subscribe. Let's get those subscriptions up to 1,000. Well, I was hoping by the end of the year, but let's do it by the first quarter of next year. All right? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, y'all stay fearless. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.